Hello, my love, and welcome back to another episode of Telling It Like It Is. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that a lot of women go through it, and I'm going to tell it from my perspective. Like always, I tell it like it is. So, I want to talk about what do you do with your life when you become an empty nester? Your kids are gone out to college, or they're already married and they have their own life. And you want to ask yourself, what now? Sometimes it's challenging to see life without your kids because now you spent easily 20 years of your life devoted to these human beings and you want to make the best out of them. So the time you had was consumed by your kids, your career, your partner, and life in general. Now you find yourself with all this time that you need to redirect and find something meaningful, purposeful to do. Not that I'm not saying that raising kids is not. It is very rewarding. It's a sacred calling. I mean, having kids, it's the best experience that a woman can have because you bring life to the world. I mean, we have that gift given by God that we do every single time. But that's not it. Now they're gone, and what do I do with myself? You find yourself like you're a different person. Before the kids, while you're raising the kids, and now you are in the fourth quarter of the game of life. What do I do? In my experience, what I thought to myself is, what do I do? Do I go back to work? Do I start a new business? Do I get a hobby? Do I volunteer? I'm going to tell you what I did. One of the things I did from the beginning, I became a volunteer. So I looked up, I did some research. I always wanted to give back. When my son was a teenager, he got into all kinds of troubles. And I found people to help me navigate his issues. I always prayed that I had be put in a position that I can give back. So I did my research and I became a CASA. I am a court-appointed special advocate for kids in foster care. So now I got licensed, it's a whole process. I'll be happy if any of you will be interested to become a CASA. Well, you can DM me and I'll give you more information about it. But you help kids in the foster care system navigate, their issues, their journey, till they either get adopted or they go back to their parents. So that took a lot of time of the day because you have to follow them through the school, go to the appointments, if the psychology or they have speech therapy. You have to go to court when they have a court date. So that took a bunch of the time from the day to do that. Another thing that I did is I found a hobby. As you know, I had another episode of my dancing journey and I suggest you go look at it. But I became a dancer as a hobby, nothing professional, obviously, but something that I always wanted to do when I was a young girl, and it never happened for different reasons. Now I have the time, and I'm still healthy, because that's another thing. Even though we could be in the late 50s, early 60s, when you're an empty nester, you're still healthy and full of life. So find something that make your heart race, that gives you motivated, that gets you excited, that maybe you always wanted it to do. For me, like I said, it was dancing. So I found a studio and I started taking lessons, private, some of them group classes. And like you've seen in my episode, I compete. So that takes another bulk of the time from all this time that I now have because my kids, they all live in separate places and they're doing their life. We need to take a step back and take care of ourselves. Another thing is sometimes we don't exercise. I don't have the time for that. I never have a facial. Oh, I would like to pick up, say, pickleball. Or I want to start, I do flower arrangement. That's another thing I've done. I make beautiful flower arrangements for my house. And some of my friends even ask me to do it for them. So I have picked up several things. The dancing, the volunteer. I actually went back to school. You guys don't know that. But at one point, I wanted to become a lawyer in my life. My husband's a lawyer, as I mentioned before. I started doing it for other reason. I had to quit, but I intended to do it because I wanted to. So some people wanted to do something and they go back to school. It's never too late. You could graduate at 80 years old. It doesn't matter. But this time as an empty nester, now it's about you. Another thing that I suggest, because I did it, you need to see where you are now, because your skills and your hobbies and even your personality has changed, because either you started in your 19 teens or maybe 20s or 30 to have children. Now you are 50 or 60. Your skill sets have changed, especially with technology. Because let me tell you, I was typing in a regular typewriter when I was working. And now you see how computers are technology, and even AI now is even changing more. So we need to maybe sharpen our skill sets if you want to go back to work. If you could take a little course in something, whatever it is that you're trying to do your research. Maybe reach out to somebody that's doing what you want to do to give you some guidance. But one thing I have to say, don't be afraid to ask and be humble, because there's always somebody else that does it, that's been doing it longer than you, that might do it better. But that shouldn't hold you back. Just do your research and start slowly, one day at a time. And if that doesn't work out, pick something else. Maybe, you know what? Instead of doing all of that, I want to do pottery. I want to go and start making ceramics. Something that makes you feel fulfilled. You can volunteer in your church if you are a religious person or you belong to a church. Anything that you didn't have the time before, but now you have the time. Another opportunity is for people who raise 2, 3 kids. The relationships sometimes suffer. Kids could be stressful to any relationship. I'm talking about from my own experience. But this is also an opportunity for you to rekindle with your partner, because there was less time to do movie nights, take little getaway trips with your partner, sit down and maybe do a book club with your partner, with your husband or your significant other. So this is another time to pretty up. Maybe you're not in shape. Men are very visual, and at that stage of the game, there's a lot of shining objects around there. You need to keep them interested. So maybe you're not in shape because you've been taking care of the kids, because we forget about ourselves. We're so nurturing. You can do Pilates. I do Pilates. I work out, like you see my workout journey. Now that brings a different dynamic in your relationship. Now he's seeing that, oh, she's taking care of herself. She's getting skinnier or in better shape, or she's picking up something about herself. That is another opportunity as an empty nester to utilize this beautiful time that God given you. You're still healthy. You have the means. And if you don't, you don't have to belong to Equinox. You don't have to do anything fancy. You could do mat Pilates. You could do your body weight. You could walk around the neighborhood. Anything that makes you more fulfilled and purposeful, because you're going to mourn that relationship with your kids and being so busy, feeling needed by somebody, because now they're gone. And even though they get married and they're going to have their kids, those are their kids. Let them raise the kids. They can come around. Those are your grandkids and everything. But take advantage of this beautiful time that now you're still healthy, we're alive, you have a partner to do it with. And even if you don't, this is time to do it. If not now, then when? I can't wait for you to share with me, your experiences about an empty nester, because I would love to just hear how did you utilize that beautiful time. Leave your comments below, and I can't wait to see you again.